Ellen Thomas. I play Pearl Noble in Driftwood.
And then what kind of first attracted you to be part of this show?
Oh, first of all, it's my RSC debut. So
Yes.
that's a big attraction. Yes, yes, yes. Many years. And when I've been invited before to audition, I've been doing something, either a film, a television series, or other theatre work. So this is the first time that it actually came together perfectly. Yeah. What attracted me to it, apart from the RSC and needing it in my bio, needing that wonderful name in my biog, what else attracted me? Oh, the writer, Martina. She's a friend and an actress that I admire. And when I read the script, it became, you got to do this, Alan. You've got to, whatever you have to do to audition, however many times they want to see you, you have to, you have to be involved in this. So yeah, yeah. I fell in love with Pearl from the get-go, from the sides that they sent for the casting. Yeah,
And then how did you
yeah.
approach bringing Pearl from the stage, the page to the stage? What was your process?
Oh, wow, it wasn't an easy process. Have you seen the show?
I've not yet. I will be, but not yet.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. Um, how did I go? It was challenging. It's easily the biggest theatre role I've had. And the character herself was, is just so powerful, so expansive. I felt that I had to have a go at bringing her to life. Um, and she resonated with not just with me, but I felt that she would resonate with a lot of women in their 60s, late 60s, 70s, who left children with the grandparents. I was left with my grandparents too. So I knew it would resonate with lots and lots of people, men and women who were left. Um, yeah, and then taking the time to go and find your birth parent. Yeah,
Yeah.
those were the themes that resonated with me. And also the 1950s is one of my favorite periods for costume, hair, and everything else. So it was a win-win. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And then, like you say, major theme in the play is kind of the belonging of the
Yes.
characters. How do you
Yeah.
kind of approach that on a personal level, kind of building that in Pearl?
Oh, personal level. Well, I'm one of those actresses who I can tell you what my character had for breakfast.
Yeah,
because, because I will go through the script, read it many, many times, and find out what other people say about her. And I will map out a journey for her. And so that I know on each given day what she's going to do and how she approaches it is based on that. Um, well, I mapped her out. I just, along with Martina and our director, Justin, we came to lots of conclusions about the type of person she is and how Martina imagined her, how I imagined her, how the director, fortunately, all three of us
yeah,
had very much the same ideas about who this woman was. She is such a tough cookie. Um, I love her. I love her tenacity. I love her hardworking. Um, I love also the energy of I can do for myself. I am a strong woman. I can help. I can look after myself probably because people had let her down in the past, and the only person who won't let her down is herself. So she relies on herself to the extent of her health, should we say, in the play. When you see the play, you will know what I
and
mean by that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then
What else? Mhm,
for you, is it different when you're doing a piece that's kind of relatively new as opposed to doing
mhm.
an established piece that's kind of had previous iterations? You kind of do you approach that
Yeah.
differently when you are building the character fresh?
Oh, no, both of them the same. I will have the biography so that I know who this woman is. And I do something else that's a little bit weird. I will go out into the street and look for her
Yeah.
based on the biography that we've created for her. I'll go and look for her. I'll look for her walk. I look at the women of that particular age, how they walk, the way they carry their shopping, and all the challenges that you see, not just on the shoulders, but on the face and the way they're dressed, the way they move. I will go out and look for all of that and incorporate that into the character. I find that interesting for Ellen as well as for I hopefully for the audience as well. Yeah, yeah,
So you
yeah.
must
She's
do,
based on real people.
yeah, so you must do a kind of fair bit of research yourself, like
Yes.
say, building that world.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely. I enjoy that though.
Yeah, yeah,
From the casting, I enjoy just thinking, I wonder if I go to Brixton, if I go to Clapham, if I go to Croydon, I wonder where I'll find a pearl in the marketplace. And then I'd have a look at her shoes and how she's dressed. And I look at bus stops. Bus stops are really good places to observe people because you can do so without somebody actually going, what are you looking at, mate?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know? So, yeah. So that's the process. That's it's worked for me in the past and I enjoy it. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, long may that continue. And then how do you kind
Mhm.
of approach the kind of calm before the storm of Pearl, kind of before Diamond comes, and then after Diamond
Yeah,
comes?
yeah.
Mm.
That's a tough one. Um, I struggled with that a bit. In that not to give too much away. I struggled with that at the start. And I came to the conclusion that the way to deal with that is moment by moment. And right from the rehearsal process in Clapham, I started to figure out, okay, this you can't, how do you eat an elephant?
Yeah, yeah,
One
yeah, yeah.
bite at a time. So I came to the conclusion that you have to just one day at a time, one scene at a time, and work your way through so that you don't peak too soon and give the game away, so to speak. Yeah. And it's worked for me. It's worked for me, especially now that we've done previews and we're in the run properly. That has really worked for me. Yeah. Yeah.
And having like a small company must be nice because you get to build that connection, don't you, and kind of
Yeah.
that world together.
Yeah. I've got two other fabulous actors to add to my children, my
Yes.
TV, film, stage children. I think I'm coming up to like 50 or 60 now in my career.
Yeah.
So, Martins and Kat, um, absolutely fabulous. It's the whole team, actually. We bonded and we don't quite know how or why, but we bonded and we've stayed bonded.
No.
Yeah. We've stayed bonded. Yeah, yeah. We're looking after each other.
And then
Um,
how much do you kind of see Pearl in the children? How much kind of is there in the characters, do you think?
oh, I see Pearl in Ruby easily. Um, Pearl wasn't mothered.
Yeah.
She grew up with her aunt, and her aunt sadly was one of those women that the slap, the stick, the belt came out before the words. So even though Pearl is not doing that to Ruby. Um, that's the way she knows. She didn't see mothering in a positive way, so it's really difficult for her to also to relate to Ruby in the way that she'd want to, I think, because Ruby is just a chip off the old block. In that she's quick, she's intelligent, she is, ambitious, and all those other things that Pearl is. So it's almost like looking in a mirror. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And she says in the show, she says, mango doesn't fall far from the tree, so I am you. Yeah,
And
yeah,
then how do you
yeah,
kind of build, obviously,
yeah,
the soundtrack of the world of the Caribbean's there? How do you kind of build that process in like day-to-day life
yeah.
to like now, a few hours before the show? How do you kind of process the time before
Mhm.
a show?
Yeah. Oh, the time before we'll do our warm-ups
Yeah, yeah.
and then we'll get on stage and we will do exercises together. And right at the very end, we will come together in a circle and just um, bond in a way to make the show what we want it to be. Let people take away all the really good qualities about the show and let it resonate with them. Let them find themselves in the show. We do one of those. It all started with our musical director, Chrisella. oh, I can't remember her surname, Chrysella. Um, that was one of the things that she introduced, and we've kept it going. Now that she's no longer with the show, we've kept that going, and it works for us. We're a team. We're a family. It
Yeah.
works. Yeah, yeah,
And then how
yeah.
do you kind of, like you say, you build the character so heavily in your
Mm.
own mind? How do you kind of switch off from the character after the show?
Ooh, with great difficulty. At the beginning, yeah, at the beginning, it really was challenging, um, because there was a part of me that kept thinking, this is Ellen's story.
Yeah.
And I needed a little bit of therapy to say, no, this is not your story. This is Pearl's story. Ellen's story is different. I know you two were left with your grandparents, but it was not the same situation. So you've got to let it go. And a lovely, lovely therapist, Wabrira, helped me to differentiate between the two characters. And she said, because at the end of the show, I have a shower. And when you see the show, you'll know why. I'm not
Yeah.
giving anything away.
Yeah.
She said, during your shower at the end of the show, just use water is therapy. Water is therapeutic. So in your shower, just say, thank you for coming on board today to play, Pearl. But the time is now for you to go to sleep. And Ellen is coming back into herself. My goodness, Mark, when I started to do that shower process so intentionally, I spent like half an hour and I'm in bed and I'm asleep. Before that, it was like 2 hours processing, decompressing, and letting go. And it was just
Yeah.
like, oh, I really need to sleep. So once Wabera gave me some of those tools, they've been very useful. Um, I can now download in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a very strong woman, very strong personality. Um, and once you inhabit her, it is, especially on stage, you've got the wheel of the car. You're at the wheel and you're driving, and there's no let up till the very end. So it's challenging, but I'm enjoying the challenge. I always say that when we're in rehearsals, I said, "Oh my goodness, I manifested this." Everyone goes, "How?" I said, "Well, I kept saying, I I don't want to be playing the same old woman the whole time. I need something challenging. I need somebody based on a real story with a strong personality and something that's going to stretch me and move me and all the rest of it." Literally, Mark.
And here you are.
Exactly. I think it's like 3, 4 months later, my agent called me and said, RC, want to see you, and da 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 da, Martina's new play. I said, oh my goodness, I've heard a lot about it. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that's how I let it go. Yeah, let her go.
And then I know you touched at the start kind of the importance of being the RSC debut, but how important
Mhm.
is it for you to be telling like a Trinidadian story at the RSC for kind of audiences to have that impact?
Yeah, that is fantastic. I've done a Trinidadian accent before when I did Moon on a Rainbow Shore with Dr. Maya Angelou, but that was a completely different character. She was a little bit of a floozy, a good time girl, and so she was flirting with everybody, which is the complete opposite to Pearl.
Yeah.
So I'd had a go at Trini accent before, but that was also one of the things that I loved about the play, the language. It is so specific, and it is not. Yeah, it is really, really specific. It isn't as clear cut as you imagine or as you think. In that, it expresses um, personality, culture, food, body language, the whole tone of the words express all of those wonderful things, which makes it rich, rich and wonderful to play. Yeah, yeah. One of my favorite lines in the play is when Pearl says to Diamond, um, I had was to be stupid if I wasn't going to make sure and take for myself. I had was to be stupid. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
just, isn't it? It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
just,
Beautiful.
and yeah, rather than, I would have been stupid if I hadn't. But no, much richer. I had was to be stupid if I didn't make sure, you know. So I love that about the language. Yeah, yeah. Martina has got that down, lockdown.
Yes. And then
Yeah, yeah.
why do you think this is a story for 2026 audiences in particular to resonate with?
Because people are still finding their birth parents, and sometimes it's hugely traumatic, and sometimes it's joyous, and people resonate with that. People traveling for work, which is exactly what Pearl did. Mansion brought her to Port of Spain to work for him again, and which meant that you had to leave the child behind. Lots of that resonates with lots of people, not just in the African Caribbean culture, but in all cultures that resonates. So that migrants, it's a huge topic in 2025, 26. People leaving home to go look to better themselves. That again will resonate with millions and millions of people. Um, what else will resonate with people? Family, love of family, love of tradition. All those things will resonate with people. Yeah, and it's already started happening. Even from the previews, people were saying that, oh, this resonates, and then they tell you their story of being left and finding their mother or their father and so on. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, it resonates. Mm.
And then what would you think Powell's legacy is by the end of the play? What do you think her legacy for her life would be at the end of the journey?
Oh my goodness. At the end of the journey, I think that she's lots of young women will find her powerful in that, not just the fact that she works hard, but she self-determines. She decides on something, she goes for it. She feels that she's worthy. She doesn't shrink. She has an opinion. She's become politicized, and lots of young people can take that away. You have a voice, so use it. Not just to vote. It's the first time in Pearl's life that she's going to vote, and she's really excited about that. She's learning about herself, the fact that she has rights, she has a voice, she can make a difference to the next generation. All of those things. Ellen finds all those things fascinating and exciting. And so does Pearl. And I'm hoping that lots of people will find that. And I'm hoping also because in the UK, people have become a little bit despondent with voting and so on. And I'm just hoping that people will go back and find their voice and realize how important it is to have a say in how your country is run, the people in the positions of power. When you give them their vote, they have a responsibility to you. You have a voice, you're worthy, you deserve it, all of those things. Yeah, I'm hoping that people take that away from it. Yeah, yeah,
And then I've always touched on the kind of how much you inhabit Pearl as a person. But if you could interview her and
yeah,
ask her one question about her life, what would you choose to ask her?
yeah. If I was going to ask her, I'd ask her why she didn't go back for Diamond. I would really want to know because once she'd established herself in Port of Spain, she could easily have made the journey back, bring her child over and all the rest of it. I would ask her, yeah, I'd ask her, why did you listen to the people who told you basically what to do? Because everybody was like, oh, it's a culture. People leave their children. You're not doing something that is unusual or out of context. No, you can do that. They'll be well looked after and so on. Yes, but once you'd settled, Pearl, why didn't you go back for Diamond? That's one of the questions I'd like to ask her. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then for Ellen, as kind of you, simply how do you
Yeah.
reflect on your own journey so far? How do you reflect on your career to this point?
Ooh, no regrets.
Yeah, good.
My father, God rest his soul, calls it the famine or feast character
Yeah,
career.
yeah.
Because one minute you're in an amazing movie or in a fabulous TV series and you've got a feast. And then a few months or a couple of years later, you got the famine, where you go back to trekking, so But I wouldn't change any of it. I have some amazing actors who I've worked with who played my children. So there's nothing I would change. I would have made time to get married, possibly.
Yeah.
If I had to get married, I would have made time to get married. But that's neither here nor there. It was all about timing for that. No, no regrets. I would do it all again because it's been fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've had nice,
and I'm
nice.
lucky. I'm lucky. I've worked as an actor my whole career. I know lots of actors, really good actors, that have given up and said, look, the periods of unemployment are too much and all the rest of it. I need to have a more stable, especially those with families. So, and I've managed to survive it and thrive. So I feel very blessed. Absolutely. Yeah.
And you've
Yeah.
obviously had quite a nice variety, I suppose, of screen and stage
Yes.
voice work.
Yes, yes. Voice work is the latest thing that I'm enjoying. Um, well, what we used to call what we used to call cartoons, anime,
Yeah.
$1 billion industry now. Oh, and the response I'm getting from playing Ambessa in Arcane, it's phenomenal. It's global. So I'm loving that as well. And doing audiobooks, that's a new experience for me as well. For an actor who works with other actors, rehearsing in the studio and etc. To be in a booth by yourself
Yeah.
and reading a book, or it's completely different. And at this stage in my career, I've embraced it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
what kind of keeps you motivated to
Mhm.
keep telling stories?
I think the next crop of young actors. Oh my goodness, Mark, they take no prisoners. They're not just talented, but they're multi-talented. They sing, they dance, they act, they write, they make films. In Driftwood, Martins is a director. He's done a short film, which he directed. Cat White is also got her short film, which she co-wrote. No, she wrote and directed, and premiere is soon. So that's and just seeing that talent being fully expressed it's a joy. Really, really is a joy. Yeah, yeah. And it inspires me, it also empowers me. I'm enjoying working with them. Lots of wonderful new energy, creativity, multi-faceted creativity bringing into the room. I love it. Yeah, yeah. That's inspiring me. Yeah.
Marvelous.
I
And then,
love working with them as well. Their energy. Yeah.
yeah, you give it back
Yeah.
though, I bet.
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
I had
Good.
to keep reminding myself. Yeah, you're the grandmother in this company. Am I?
And then, simply to wrap up our
Yeah.
conversation, what would you hope an
Yeah.
audience member
Yeah.
takes away from seeing Driftwood?
Um, I hope they take away, be honest, be open with your family, talk to each other. Don't let things fester. Um, yeah, don't let life is too short. Um, Enjoy the time that you have with your family and make every moment count because you really don't know. I hope they take that away. Also, get out there and vote. Use your voice. It's powerful. People died to get the vote. Use the voice that you have. You're worthy. Yeah, just enjoy it all. Just get out there and make the most of it. Stop shrinking, stop hiding. Yeah, that's what I'd love them to take away. Yeah,
Well, Ellen,
yeah.
thank you so much. Just leaves me to
Oh,
say Driftwood
yes,
runs at the other
yes.
place till the 30th of May, and then you're at the Kiln from the 3rd of June to the 4th of July.